This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by HostGator. The Summer of Arcade continues, and today we check out the game Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
Talking about all of the Summer of Arcade releases so far this year. There have been 3, and it's no coincidence. They're very interesting, unique, worthy of being featured in the Summer of Arcade. So we're going to continue that because today's game is no exception. It's Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, and it is a game from a new developer and basically works a lot like a Metroid type game or Castlevania type game, but instead of platforming, I like to call it a platformer without platforming. They managed to make a 2D platformer and take away the platforming, which is pretty amazing. You're a spaceship and you're flying around exploring the insanely twisted shadow planet, be it through starry skies and strange silhouetted backgrounds underwater, through ice, into crazy mechanical lands. It is an insanely twisted planet of shadows. And the main way you interact with the universe is through different tools that your ship can have on it at any given time. You can only have one active at each moment, and you collect them by exploring the environment. So you can have things like scanning things, or you get a little claw hand to let you pick things up, to a sort of levitation beam, laser, weapons. But like I said, only one at a time, and it works a lot like Metroid or Castlevania in that each new thing you collect kind of opens up more of the map so you can access areas that you previously couldn't. Get a little gear thing that lets you burrow through rock. Really cool stuff. Dan, tell me what you thought of Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
It's hard to come up with anything to say about this game unique that I haven't already said about all the other great platforming games that we played, and even games like Pixel Junk Shooter recently. It's just a great game, and it does all those things that I always mention when I review a game like this. I love the varied weapons that you can use. They actually do feel specifically or more peculiar in this game, like very unique choices. A grabby thing, I feel like normally it's just like, do you shoot a wide berth of things or precise select bullets? This was like a grabby thing and a shield, you know, and then shooting.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, that it's ostensibly a dual stick shooter because you control that other weapon with the second stick, but often you're controlling something that isn't a shoot.
Yeah.
But you are controlling it with that other stick, so that grabby hand you really have tons of control over.
Exactly. It's really, everything's inventive. What you can do is inventive. The things that happen to you, and as soon as you assume you know how to play, it's reversed on you, and all that stuff is great. A small criticism would be that you get so many different weapons. I wish I could swap, like you have to select, you map them yourself, you sort of have to select the few that get mapped. And I wish I could have, because I love like honing in on a game and getting awesome at it and then being deft, like everything happens how I want it to happen, and I can really feel a control of the game mechanic. And this made that a little bit more of a challenge.
I feel like you would particularly have enjoyed the fact that there are puzzles.
And very challenging puzzles, in fact, yeah. But just like all these other games, and it's puzzling on the fly. It's not like I'm in a puzzle room. It's sort of like, oh, this has to be figured out, and then this has to be figured out. And I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely liked it a lot, and it is hard to kind of basically parrot all the stuff with Pixel Junk Shooter and all these things. I mean, it reminded me a lot of Pixel Junk Shooter.
Sure. I feel like it's the game I wish Pixel Junk Shooter was.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing that I liked about it was the fact that it sort of showed you things, but because it had the scanning thing, which I used a lot, because it would show you what item would defeat the thing, but it doesn't show you how to use the item to defeat the thing.
It's great. Which
is so smart, because it's like, it gives you enough information to go, okay, not the rockets or not the thing, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta switch to the other thing.
Right.
But it doesn't show you how you manipulate that device to get the thing.
It's a nudge rather than
It's a nudge, exactly, yeah, which is great. And the other thing is I feel like I was constantly felt like I was in danger even though I never felt overwhelmed.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I never felt like, so much shit is happening, I can't do it, But I always felt like I'm not in a safe place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when I'm like trying to figure this out, I'm like trying to figure it out quickly because I know I'm not in a safe place.
Right.
But I don't have to, for the most part, I mean, there are times when, S hits the F, but, So I loved it. I had a blast. It's a fun game. And these downloadable games. Plus, I have to say, the story at the beginning is told so well.
It's really like an awesome cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Silent, good music. I mean, it was just like, and you get what's happening to this world and why you're doing what you're doing. So it was great.
Yeah, I loved it as well, and I'll pick right up on that because I found one of the things that was most interesting is how well they were able to communicate using no text.
Yeah.
It is all iconography, it's all situational, contextual, and really effectively communicating both story and ideas, gameplay ideas, concepts that I'm picking up on. Oh, okay, I see. Now that works in that way, and if I plug this crystal in, it makes a beam ricochet. It never said that. It never told me that.
Yeah.
And I think in a lesser game, in a less elegant game, you would have the box that comes out that says, press X to.
Yeah, you can always just use these crystals to bounce them off the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And this game, I think it feels refreshing because of its level of communication. The art style also. I know that the sort of very high contrast shadow silhouette.
It was a little bit like Patapon.
Yeah, I mean it's
like
very
that
in
cutout.
vogue.
Yeah.
It's even reminded me a lot of oh crap! What was the game we just played a lot with the red and blue dots? Outland. I mean it's very in vogue. There's a lot of games that are using that. Limbo, of course. But I found the specific art style here to be really an interesting take on it. The way the world works. Of course, there's an ice level. There's always an ice level. But this ice level is not like other ice levels. It uses crystals and vibrating, and it's really, really cool. And I love how you see your ship when you take damage. When you're about to die, your ship is like losing parts and like rickety and almost dead. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And really wonderful use of checkpoints. It's never frustrating when you die because you're always checkpointed.
And it's very challenging.
It is. It is. And the puzzles are difficult, and there's so much to do. And I really mean it when I say I feel like they managed to create a platformer without platforming. I love the fact that allowing me to take my ship and go anywhere I want didn't ruin this kind of game.
Yeah.
Because so many of these games, just getting to the next place is the fun, but this game is about exploration.
Yeah, definitely.
And whereas a game like...
And the ship is very satisfying, you know what I mean?
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
And whereas a game like Pixel Junk Shooter is the same type of thing, it really isn't about exploring, I don't think. And it's not a satisfying experience because it doesn't have enough, in my opinion, enough of that Castlevania, Metroid, the thing that I love of feeling like, oh, I can't go there yet, but when I go and get the thing, I'll come back here and go here.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
We're just opposite on that.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, I think it's a fantastic game. I think we all agree it's really worth checking out. It's not expensive and really...
Summer continues.
Summer continues.
Booyah. All right, everybody, be sure to stick around for this day in Rad history. But first, we want to thank our sponsor, HostGator.com. If you have any need to have a website, HostGator is your place to be. With plans starting as low as $3.96 a month, 24/7 sales support, amazing stuff.
The coolest thing I think is that it's 130% powered by
130% powered by wind energy. So
that means they're putting it back in.
Putting it back in. There are over 4,000 custom templates for you to use. They'll migrate your site for free over to HostGator.com. Unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, a 45-day money-back guarantee, $100 Google AdWords and Yahoo AdWords credit, which is search credit, which is amazing. And since you're a Revision 3 viewer, you can get 25% off your order or your first month for free. Just head over to HostGator.com and use the coupon code TotallyRadShow. Well, that's it, people. We will see you later.
And tomorrow even.
Check us out tomorrow when we go on a scavenger hunt with the Go game.
Today is August 9th, and on this day in Rad history, in 480 BC...
480 BC?
The Persian army defeats Leonidas in Thermopylae.
Whoa.
Wow. That just
Popularized
puts it.
by the graphic novel and film 300.
Wow, that just put history in context.
Sure did.
It really did.
August
That
9th.
happened today. Like they
Yeah.
woke up today, just like we woke up, and then they were stabbed with
Pretty
Just
much
like
spears.
they
exactly how we
checked their
woke up.
Twitter, checked email.
We just started the Google Plus.
I'm putting Leonidas in the douchebag circle.
Dear diary.
They probably
Weird
had
morning.
diaries.
Yeah, my mom with 3 breasts had sex with a Gorgon, and
Jesus.
that's all that weird stuff. Anyway,
History.
thank you at Ask Oscar Vernice for sending that in.